Okay.
Have to click progress.
Hello. Carry
กราบ
on.
นมัสการค่ะ กราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์ค่ะ So that Jonas introduced himself. So I think you can introduce yourself also, พระอาจารย์ to us again and to him, Jonas. He has expectation that it maybe you can give some guidelines for him.
I do it again. I do my introduction again, right? That's what you said.
Yes. Okay, you start again. No problem.
I'm very happy to be here amongst you guys. I'm new to meditation. I know it a little bit from the yoga practice, which I've been doing for at least 10 years, but on and off, sometimes more, sometimes less. And since it's more of a kind of a physical practice, it's different. I am not very used to this mind focus of the practice that I expect now, that I think we are going to do, to calm the mind in a way to sit still, to do nothing. For me, it's very hard, but I think it's a very good way to learn how to somehow to control the mind and at the same time let it be. And the emotions, somehow to accept all emotions that are within. This is my introduction.
Very good.
Perfect. Okay. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. So this is our another session in May, and welcome to Jonas to our club. Maybe as you have known Sanya for a long time, I wonder where have you been so long? You never come to our club.
Sanya only just mentioned it about a month ago, I think. So I'm happy he did.
To mention about that. Nice.
All right. Okay. So further ado, let's practice, and then after practice, we'll look at some other factors. Okay. So with the gong, sitting comfortably and practicing. Okay, spend some times on the breath. You may take a few long breaths. And as you breathe in and breathe out, feel the entire body. And relax. Finding a relaxed position, a relaxed posture. You may gently close your eyes and making a vow that you will be sitting comfortably, still, calmly, maintaining your position and paying attention to this breath and the body. Calming the body helps to calm the mind. And when a restless mind, we will be doing so many things moving hands, moving legs, and doing other things. So calming the body helps to calm the mind, and calming the mind helps to realize deep connection within ourselves. Each breath that you are taking, feel the deep connection with your own body. Each breath that you are taking out, feel the complete relax. With this breath, settling your mind down, either at the nose or the abdomen, that you can feel the breath. So wherever you feel comfortable between the breath coming in and going out through the nostrils or rising and falling of the abdomen, use that a particular place as a place to settle your mind down. Keep your mind there, establishing there. So this will be the foundation ground to settle the mind, to gain the control over our mind. And consciously making a decision that you will be keeping your mind on that particular object that you have consciously chosen. If rising and falling of abdomen, observing it, it is rising, it is falling. When it rises, rising. When it falls, falling. Now if it is, you feel comfortable at the nostrils, just paying attention to the nostrils as it comes in and as it goes out. So just stopping here. But if you're really finding difficult to keep the mind focusing on one of it, you may practice like taking a long breath, hold the breath for a couple of seconds and blow it out from your mouth. You can do just that 1 or 2 times and just back to the body, awareness of the body, and settling on your primary object. So as we are paying attention to the primary object and working on it, try to focus, mind simply drifts away. Lost into the thoughts. In those moments, just use our technique. Observe, acknowledge, note, and let go. And back to the primary object. And consciously aware of it. let's say rising, falling of abdomen. When it rises, making a conscious note, conscious awareness of it by mentally saying it, it is rising. When it falls, it is falling. Rising, falling. And it's not about controlling the mind, not letting it to go and think any other things, but it's a practice of awareness of that thinking mind. And by observing it, whenever the mind drifts to think something else, observing that mind has gone away to think something else. At that moment, we're simply perceiving it rather than commenting or arguing. We simply acknowledge that and noting that mind is not with the primary object, and noting that very object, like if that's a thought, and thinking, and let it go back to the primary object. So this will be the foundation practice. Relaxing the body, choosing the primary object and working with it whenever mind is distracted, using these 4 words: observing, acknowledging, noting, and letting go, and back to the primary object. And as you hear a gong slowly coming out from the meditation, so bring your attention to your eyes. Feel the tension there. And slowly opening up your eyes as you hear the gong. Okay, all right. So so before me speaking, anybody has got anything to share or anything that you want to ask? No? Okay. Right. So this month is the month of Vesak, the day when the Buddha was born, and also the day when he was enlightened, and also the day when he passed away. So 3 days happened to took place on the same full moon, but a different year. Different year. So he was born 623 BC, and then he passed away 543 BC. So that's a long, long time ago. Okay. So within that time was the Buddha's life history. And as a result of that, in worldwide, everybody is celebrating a Vesak. It is called a Vesak Day. Basically, it means the month according to the moon calendar. So this is a Vesak month of a full moon. And it took place these 3 days. And last week was the full moon. So we had a celebration here, and UN headquarters also had a celebration in a White House and a Kamala Harris house. There was also they also invited monks from different schools to celebrate the Vesak. And in Thailand, a big conference organized by the government of Thailand, and in India and in Nepal, in Lumbini, where the Buddha was born, and there also like a cat. So it's all around going on, and somehow today is the day when his body was cremated. Yeah, it's called Attami Puja. Yeah? After he passed away, his body was kept for 7 days, and today, I'm technically after the Vesak, the full moon, his body was cremated, and as a result of that, again in Buddhist places, there is a celebration going on. So this month is quite significant as well for the Buddhists. But what is important is not about his life, but is about his teachings. His teachings is more important than his life, because he never encouraged to worship him. But what he said that if you want to worship me, practice. Practice, and then that is worshiping. So in the practice, of a meditation that I mentioned last time is the blessings to ourselves, how to create blessings to ourselves by simply be mindful of your own daily routines. Waking up in the morning, you're cleaning yourself, and afternoon, with full confidence, you're working, and in the evening, you're letting go of things that you have already done and free yourself. And in that practice, all what we need is to use these 4 words: observing, acknowledging, noting, and letting go. Yeah, and that's the simple technique. And that basically means having awareness, having a mindful awareness throughout the time, if possible. And further on, I also mentioned that ability to be mindful in your daily activities, minor activities, let's say brushing your teeth, going up and down in your stairs, eating a food, and driving a car. So these were some of activities that I want you to be mindful of. Brushing your teeth, rather than thinking and brushing and shouting, just brush your teeth. Rather than rushing through your stairs, you just walk and count those steps. And rather than grumbling and whatever at the front, you're just enjoying it and taking it without knowing it. Be mindful of the texture, the tastes, and the cold or heat, like that. And this will help us to develop our mindfulness. And overall, what is needed is basically the mindful awareness. Right? And here, awareness is something that helps us to recognize our thought process. Right? The moment when we see things, the moment when we hear the sound, those moments, simply having awareness about it. Right? Be mindful and aware of it. Normally what happens is that, not knowing, whenever we see things, we simply create towards greed and hatred. Yeah? If that's a pleasant, then we want to grab and keep it. If that's unpleasant, we want to push it away and developing a resentment. If I ask you to ponder and think about it, throughout the day, between the grasping and grasping and resentment or the hate, which state of the mind do you have? And a majority is in the negative side, right? And that is needed to be mindful and aware, and that is called sati. Right? And here, not only sati or a mindfulness, but we have to have awareness of that. The sampajanya, it's called sampajanya, is wisdom part. Awareness is basically a wisdom part. The mindfulness is you're pushing to be mindful of it. Awareness is consciously being aware of its cause and effects and how it is generated and how it is affecting. Like each breath that we take, we are just mindful of breath coming in, going out. But awareness helps us to see how breath is affecting to our body. Okay? And that's the reason why we can observe the expansion of our body and deflation of our body. And so we will be able to be mindful of that because of the breath coming in, we can feel the expansion of the body. So there is a cause and effect. And as breathe in, breathe out, then again it falls. So we see the cause of breathing out causes the deflation of the body. And now we can see the interrelationship between the breath and the body here. Interrelationship. So that is the awareness. The wisdom part is not just of seeing it in a superficial way, but seeing in a deeper way, insight into it. And that helps to keep ourselves in balance. So we will not be swayed by any emotions, any feelings that we are coming across with it. Doesn't matter what we see, doesn't matter what we hear. The moment when we see, when we hear, we become not just mindful that I am seeing it, but we will be able to see, fully aware that how am I seeing it and what is happening, how it is making me feel, and what is my reaction to that feeling. So it's basically opening yourself up to see the reality pertaining to itself. And every reaction that you are trying to do, you will not be doing it. So with that, we become conscious of any form of a greed, any form of a hatred or resentment. And that helps us to overcome the nature of ignorance about it. And that's how mind becomes purified. Our mind becomes tranquil and balanced. And that's what we are looking for. That's what we are trying to develop. It's keeping the mind in balance in any situation, any circumstances, without any troubles. So that's why in Buddhism, we normally do the chanting called Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. That is the first sentence that all the Buddhists will say. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. And that is basically about having awareness, awareness of things, what's happening, and keeping the mind in balance, and living a life with the full of wisdom. And that's the quality of the Buddha. Okay, quality of the Buddha. So the Buddha itself, the word Buddha means to know, and to be awake, and then to be peace or alertness. And that's the meaning of the word. And that's exactly what we are practicing for. We are practicing to know things, what's happening here and now. Everything that is taking place in the moment, here and now, we are knowing it. So we are developing the sense of a knowing, the quality of a knowing. And with that, we become alert and awake. So mind is very sharp and very awake or alert to things that is coming through our senses. And the very moment when we become very alert about it, we will not be swayed by things that is coming to our contact with us. We see it in a true nature. And with that, there is no engagement, there is no proliferation, there is no objection, there is no sense of a wanting, there is no sense of a resentment, I don't want and hate and so on. Mind is in a complete equilibrium, in a complete balance. And that's how you will have a peaceful mind. In a midst of the crowd, midst of the trouble, yet your mind is still. Your mind is still. And that is the Buddha nature. That's why Buddhism says we all have that Buddha nature. All what we need to develop is learn to know, learn to be awake, and learn to be peace. And that's what we are training to be. So that's why the first we need to practice is to know. What do we know? Know anything that happens now. Nothing in the past, nothing in the future. Anything that is happening now. So anything that is happening now, that is N-O-W, is now. When you become very mindful of this now, you become a knower. So that becomes know, right? N, you just put the K at the front. K-N-O-W, you know. Yeah. Early on, it was just a now, and you just move on, you never know. And now what we are practicing is just to know this now. Just adding K at the front of the now. Yeah. And the problem occurs that after we have known it, I know this, we hold on to it, we grab onto it, and we perceive it as the reality. And whoever comes and asks, we say, I knew it. We are holding onto the past memory now. We are not in the now. So anything that is now, when we know it, it becomes new. Yeah? N-E-W, new. And when we put the K at the front, that becomes we knew, I knew. We are going into the past, not in the now. Right? So it should be, I have known, but no attachment to it. It has been known, but no attachment to it at all, because it's a flux happening all the time. All what we need to do is know now, and I know. Now I know this now. It's become a know. I am the knower of what? Knower of now. What is now? Anything that's happening, anything that comes to contact with us, I am aware and I know it. Can you do that? So this is the real mindfulness and awareness. Not just being mindful, but we see it, the cause and effect of it. So that's how we become very aware of it. Sati Sampajanya, in Buddhist term, it is called. So mindful, aware. And mindfulness and awareness is simply developing in us to see it in the reality. And here again, not just to know, we have to see that I know. And that see that I know is the pure sense of knowing. Right? And there is no there is no attachment, there is no grasping, and there is no pushing it away. You become observer of what you know. Yeah? So this is called the one kind of a pure knowledge. It's called a jnana darsana, seen with the pure wisdom. And that is basically knowing now what's happening, how you are feeling, how you are seeing, how you are hearing, how you are reacting, what is your mental reaction, and what are you thinking about these, all the things that's happening. And this knowing and seeing helps us to see the pure, how we were perceiving things. And we will be able to recognize that the things that I am perceiving is simply a perception that hasn't fulfilled the pure perception, or we haven't fully understood it. And the practice of a mindful awareness helps us to see the true nature of it. And that's how we will be changing our perception from so-called I knew, right? We become I have known. And we become a person who will be observing in every moment and now, here and now. We become a complete observer of what's happening around. That's why I use a simile of sitting at the bank of the river and watching the river flow. You have nothing to do with the water flow. You're simply sitting at the bank and watching the flow. And if I bring the Western philosopher Descartes, he said, we can't jump twice in the same river. And that's simpler because the flux going on. And that's same with our body, same with our feelings, same with our mind. It's always changing. Yeah? It's always changing, whether we like it or not. It's continue changing. And the practice of a mindfulness meditation is simply to be mindful of that. Yeah? To be mindful of that. And that basically means just being here and now. What's happening now is just being mindful and aware of it. That's all. And that leads you to live a life with a full awareness. Your mind becomes balanced and you can live peacefully in every situation. Nothing can make your mind shaken, because you know it's going to happen. It's always changing. When we already knew that everything is changing, is going to change, oh, aha, I knew that. We can laugh at it. Here comes. I've been waiting for you, like that. So we will be happy. We will be cheerful. No problem with that at all. So this will be for today's reflection. Okay, and with this, let's practice again. Okay, so gently relax yourself, feeling fully secure, having a good posture, and spend a couple of breaths with a long breath and free yourself, calm the body, calm the mind. And settling down, grounding yourself on the primary object. Rising, falling. Rising, falling. As you are paying attention to the rise and fall of abdomen, try to notice a long and a short or different movements. Or if you're feeling comfortable with the breath, working with the breath, and try to notice different breaths. And see that each breath that coming in affecting to body to expand, and each breath that falls, the coming out, the entire body deflates, which is similar to a rising and falling of the abdomen. When it rises, experiencing the entire body is inflating, and when it falls, experiencing the entire body deflates. And there comes the cause and effects of one another. A breath making it to rise, and again, a rise is making the breath a space to coming in. Same with the rising and the falling. There is a rising, so there is a falling. So we're not just being mindful of the process, but being aware of how it is taking place, understanding the cause and effects of it. And here, each time when breath coming in, breathing out, a rise and a fall, we are consciously aware of things that's happening in the moment, here and now. So we know that's happening each time when it is taking place. And we move on to a new one to arise, new one to come. And as you hear a gong, you can slowly open your eyes and come out. Okay, so welcome back. Yeah, this floor is yours. Anything anybody wants to share or a question, please do so. Anybody? No one? Okay. Yes, Jonas?
I was focusing on really not moving. And then, you know, how you're in the position and the mind is still going and going and going a lot. And then at some point you realize you want to move and you don't, you force yourself not to move. And then that moment passed, and then I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm like, oh, you did it. You didn't move. And then you pass on. That it's just a realization and that I went through. And then after having been still, it comes back to enjoying to be still and not judging it somehow. That's just something that I noticed.
Very good. Yes, this is how we practice. Okay. And this is how one can see and develop understanding early on. Whatever things comes and we just instantly we react without knowing. And now we practice little by little, we become aware of these little things and ability to take control over any action that we are going to do. That's mindful awareness. So you can take control of your action. So that's why the more we practice, the better we become to deal with these different things and different situations. Yes, Janine?
So I have a new struggle because I have so much luck at the moment in my life. It's completely frightening. And I have a lot of work. So this is also part of the luck. And so normally when before there was so much, a long time with so much struggle, and meditation in a way helped to how do I say that? Because I was struggling, there is some kind of suffering, and to get to deal with the suffering, not to get rid of it, to deal with the suffering, there was meditation. But now that I have so much luck at the moment, I feel like I have electricity in my veins, and I have problems sitting still because of that, and also of course there's some kind of like I don't feel the need so urgently anymore to meditate. So I was falling a little bit off the wagon, or getting stray from the way. And the only thing is that I work so much that I am exhausted. And but on the other hand, my mind is always like dealing with the next step. And what I did a bit was the body scans to relax, because I was so tense. But I'm so glad to be back, because I really need this to deal with all the luck. Because it won't last anyway. To be ready when it doesn't last anymore.
Ah, very glad to hear. Yeah. Having good lucks. So may this good lucks last little longer. So you see, there is the one defilement or one hindrance is called the restlessness. And this restlessness, normally we talk about negative restlessness, that we can't meditate because of this, because of that. Actually, and this restlessness normally comes before practice, is that why I'm having this much trouble, and how I'm going to sort this out, and how this is going to be done, why I am like this, why me, those sort of restlessness. And with that restlessness, what happens is that we go to find ways to be free, and use different tactics and techniques to find the ways to deal with that trouble. And then this is very common after you overcome those difficulties and troubles, and you feel that your trouble is gone, and then you feel happy, you are lucky, and your life is on the right track. And then you see, I don't need this medication anymore. Right? And then that again develops another type of a restlessness. Okay? And this restlessness is, I have everything and I don't need anything. I don't have to do this one. And all I need is to enjoy this. And then there's another restlessness. Further on, the deeper restlessness is there too. And as one person, suppose a person who has attained the real knowledge about it, and eventually there will be a kind of a restlessness in the mind occurs. Okay, and that is in a pure knowing, but haven't fully understood yet, haven't seen that I have known all. And that is also one type of a restlessness there too. So it is no surprise to hear that Janine, after you have gained all this strength and everything, and now you feel energized and electricized with this power and this energies. So with that, it's very easy to lose the track. It's very easy to go off the track. And that's why here comes another type of practice. So need to push yourself. So before you desire to find the way, so you push yourself to find the way, and you have walked on the path and you find the completeness and freedom and happiness. And then this moment, now I have got it, I don't need it. So here, rather than live it, you have to push the second time. No, I have to do it.
That's why I'm going on a retreat in July.
Well done. Okay. So that's what I think I've mentioned. There are 4 things happen. Yeah. The number 1 is that it's difficult to when we are in a really difficult time, we push ourselves to find ways to get rid of. So with to attain that, what we will do is anything that is less necessary, we will just leave it away, push it away, and then we try to focus on things that needs to be done. And then with that, whatever qualities and whatever strength that we have, we will maintain that strength to follow the path, to continue the work, so that we can find the happy moments and the success in our life. And now what happens is, after that, we have found, we have walked, and we have seen and we gain the benefit, and we know that this works. And this moment, we have to learn to maintain. So this maintaining is hard enough. Maintaining the continuity or consistency of the practice. And it requires a lot of energy, a lot of dedication and determination that, yes, I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter what happens, spending the time and I'm going to do it. And the last one is not just the maintaining, developing is the hard one. But I'm very happy to hear that Jenin is going for a retreat. So that is basically you are topping it up rather than just letting it drop away. So you are topping it up. And that is the important part. Not just the maintaining, we have to add it on. Do not satisfy with the bank balance that you have now. Learn to add some more for the future. Right? So well done. That's good. And that's why the practice of a meditation is not just a one-day job. It's a continued work, and continue working in a different situation and different environments. And particularly, it is helpful to understand that it is going to change. Good and a bad and a good. Always change. No big deal. No big deal. Right? Anyone? Yes.
I have a question about, I have a problem with the concept of wasting time. I have this feeling inside me a lot that whatever it is that I will be doing, even if it's sometimes something constructive, but mostly when it's, I don't know, something that needs to be done, or for example, when I have to clean my house, I have the feeling it becomes wasting time if I don't do something on top of it, which would be, let's say, listening to an audiobook. So that helps me to consider this activity as not wasting time, because I'm always afraid to waste time, because I always think there's not enough time. So that's my basic thing. How can I get rid of this fear?
Actually, we're always wasting time.
Exactly.
Everyone is wasting time. Doesn't matter how much we work. Doesn't matter how much we try to reach our wished things. We're still wasting time because the hope is never ending. A wish is never ending. We always want after want after want, never satisfied. So with that, we are always wasting time. So that's why it causes the trouble that we have to go and do it all the time. And that is exactly, I've been reflecting many times, that in a meditation, you're supposed to do nothing. But meditation itself, you are doing something. You are supposed to do nothing, but you are doing something. That is a meditation. And then I reflected, particularly when I'm practicing meditation in our woods here, that when I am walking, just standing before start walking, there is a desire of I want to stand. So you're standing. There is a desire to stand. And then if you want to walk, then again, there is a desire, I want to walk. and only then you can move. Otherwise, no. And so here the difference is, if you want to walk, but you're standing, you feel, why am I doing here? I'm supposed to be walking. Yeah? And then with that, immediately, if you move on to walking, what happens is that, oh, why did I do that? Yeah? So straight away, there will be, we become a slave of our desire, rather than knowing that, oh, there is a wanting to do it. And then when we are walking and something occurs in our mind that, oh, I should have been doing something else. And here, immediately, we leave that and do something else, or even at least of a thinking, if you are not doing it by physically. So you'll be thinking of, I should have been doing this one. I should have been doing that one, like that. So that's why there is no enough time for us all the time. But time is the time. It's there. All what we need is to adjust and manage it. There is a story comes that says there was a heavy rain and somebody comes into the temple and he goes to see the abbot. Outside was heavy rain. And then this abbot asks him, saying, how did you come? And he said, I came under the rain. I came under the rain. I came under the rain. So he was not affected by rain at all. His pure mind was there to pay respect to the abbot and discuss and spend time with him. So in our life also like that. Our time is like a rain, constantly there happening and never enough. And what the practice of a mindfulness meditation is about here is basically enjoy the moment that you have. Whatever you have done, it's done. Whatever needs to be done, I will do it. Enjoying, rather than I need to do this, I need to do that, fixing yourself. And here I like the simile that Thich Nhat Hanh, who just passed away a couple of months ago, the Zen master, he said, when I wash a dish, I only wash a dish. Simple but profound saying. When I wash a dish, I only wash a dish. That's all. And there's he wrote another book. And in that book, he mentioned about never enough time. And that is basically because we are always thinking of something else for ourselves and not able to enjoy the moment that we have and what we are doing. So practice of a mindfulness meditation is basically enjoy whatever you are doing. And in that moment, there is a specific practice as called the coming to the senses. So you are mindful of the texture that suppose the modern secular mindfulness they have developed the practice called a raising practice. So this raising practice is exactly the practice you can use. That's feeling the texture as you touch the raisin, and then smell it and put it on your mouth and chewing it, the listening, how you chew, and how you, when you are chewing, the saliva develops, how you feel, and gradually you are swallowing it. When you're swallowing it, what happens? So you are present, you are in the present with everything that is happening. And with that, you are in the moment. And then enjoying whatever you are doing. And then just find time that this is my moment, and what's not done, it's okay. So this will be my reflection for that.
Thank you.
And this the raising practice we're supposed to do every meal. That's why monks always do the chanting before having a meal, saying that this is just for the sustaining the life, not for the beautification or fattening, but just for the maintaining the life. And this practice of, again, to develop that early on today, I also mentioned being ability to be mindful of as you're brushing your teeth in the morning, and stepping up and down on your stairs, rather than just running and counting the steps. Before eating, you can be mindful of your food, smell the food, touch the water, and then swallowing it, like that. So you can practice that too. Okay. I see people walking here with a headphone on in their earphones, in their ears, and I always say, you are running away from all the troubles from home, and you are still not within yourself. You are lost into the songs or books or stories. You better be here, walking, enjoying, and which normally in my book, I think I have one picture as well that I mentioned, and I have a picture of two gentlemen walking. Where is this? Oh, it's in a small one, not this one. A small booklet. There's a man walking. There's one thought is thinking about the housework, and another thought is seeing the trees. Which one do you think is the right one? Seeing the trees as you're walking in the woods, or thinking of the cars and the houseworks? So obviously, you see the trees, birds, the sunlight, the sunshine. That will be the perfect moment. You should be enjoying, connecting with the nature. That's why every time when I lead for a mindful walk in our woods, I ask them, silently walking, hear the noise as you're stepping on the grass, listen the birds singing, listen the wind blowing through you. And then I also tell them after a while, after a couple of moments later, now take away the loud noises. So taking away one after another, from the cars to the birds, and then take the birds away, and then what you hear, the wind, take the wind away, and what you hear, and then gradually coming to our own body. All what you hear will be the breathing in and breathing out. So coming to your own self. And that is basically a mindful walk, rather than lost into the thoughts again. So that's a way to relax yourself and spend time for yourself. We all have a similar time. Right. Okay. Anybody has got anything to share? Okay. So if not, Then let's practice, and we'll finish later. Okay, just to recap that practice for meditation is basically finding a relaxed position and having one object to pay attention to start. And after that, whenever mind drifts away, is observing, acknowledging, noting, and letting go of that thought, and bring their mind back to the moment, and breathing in and breathing out, or rising and falling of abdomen. And not just being mindful of these activities, but ability to be aware of how things forms and how things connects to one another. And then gradually understanding how these conditions. So simply knowing and being alert and enjoying the moment. Now with this, let's practice again. So take a long breath and feel the connection with your own body. So this session, we will start off with the body scan. So bring your attention to your head. Being mindful of any sensations around your head, whatever sensations are there. The heat, the cold, the tightness, drowsiness, tenseness, whatever. Just be mindful in your head, around your head, and relax. Because we are gazing on a screen for some times now, you may feel the tension back of your eyes and relax them. And if you have been talking, you may feel some sensations around your mouth. And then again, just to relax them. And sometimes you may feel the heaviness. Then again, simply relaxing them by not holding it. And each time when you breathe in, send your all the breath and attention to the head, and experiencing the entire head, and release. Now we'll move on as you breathe in. Aware of the right hand, from the right shoulder to the fingers of the right hand. Observing the sensations. Each time when you breathe in and breathe out, trying to be mindful of any sensation that is taking place in your right hand, the entire right hand. And as you breathe in and breathe out, shifting your attention from the right to the left hand, the left shoulder down to the fingers. Whatever sensations that you can observe, just to be mindful of it. You may feel a heaviness, you may feel light, you may feel the flow of a current. Now again, shifting your attention from the left hand to the front parts of the body. As you breathe in and breathe out, observing the front part of the body. From the neck down to the belly. The chest, the rises, folds, the abdomen rises, falls. And shifting your attention to your back of the body. Just checking your entire back and whatever sensations are there. Be mindful of it. And shifting your attention to the right leg from the thigh down to the tip of the toes. Whatever sensations that you can observe, observing it attentively. And then to your left leg. And gently bring your attention to the breathing in and out, and your nose and the belly as you breathe in and breathe out. So a couple of breaths you may blow out from your mouth. Just to relax the entire body and feel the entire body, connecting with it. And as you breathe in and breathe out, seeing the different breaths, different forms of a rise and a fall. See the connection between the body and the breath, how these two interlinks to one another. So aware of that interlinks and effects. with this, we practice the loving kindness meditation. So bring your attention to observe the sensations throughout the body. Feel the sensation and connect with yourself. Whatever sensations are there, be mindful of that sensation. And bring that attention to your hands. Be mindful of any sensations in your hand. Again, do not move, just feel and connect with it. And whatever sensations are there, the heat, the cold, the soft, the hardness. And gently shifting your attention to your heart. Feel the beating heart. If you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. Feel the sense of happiness. From bottom of your heart. Feel the sense of a well-being. Free from troubles. Whatever sufferings that you have or going through, may you be free. So may I be free from it. May I be free from hatred, ill will, animosity. May I be liberated, liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, someone who is next to you, our family members, acknowledging their presence, or someone from your relatives, or anybody who you think they are in need of it. So bringing into your thoughts, generating loving kindness and compassion towards them. And sharing it. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be at peace. And extending it to entire sentient beings. Beings, visible and invisible beings, in the room, in the city, in the country, on earth, and in the entire universe. Whatever beings there are, big or small, beings on earth, in the water, on the sky, in the air. May all beings be well and happy, willing them to be well and happy from bottom of our heart. May they be free from all the troubles. May they be free from hatred, ill will, animosity. May they be free from troubles of the body and the mind. May they be liberated. And again, gently bring your attention back to your hands. Feel the sensations in your hands. Extend your awareness to entire body. Whatever sensations are there, be mindful of it. And bring that attention to your eyes. Feel the tension in your eyes, or relaxed. In a short while, we will be opening our eyes. So seeing that intention to open the eyes. Mindful of any sensations around in your eyes. And as you hear a gong, mindfully opening your eyes and reflecting for a few moments on today's practice. Okay, so thank you everyone for your attendance, and wish you all the best. I hope you have some practice to take away and practice for this whole month, and we'll come back and see you next month. I will, whereupon will inform you for the date and the time. Whereupon.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful session today. I would say it's very good. So thank you, Jonas, also, and I hope you enjoy the session. And then I will organize the next session in June, next month. Okay. I wish you have a good Sunday. Enjoy your day. Then thank you very much, Pa Ajahn. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bara.
Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.